Meghan Markle here.
Today is March 30th, 2025. It is 4:48 a.m. This is the background of this channel. New subscribers, welcome. I have a lot to share with you. Lately, I've been very lazy. This weekend, I've been very lazy. I don't feel like recording. I'm just pushing myself to be up to date with what's going on. So let's go straight to Twitter. I'm still editing whatever I recorded yesterday. So this is the first tweet. Prince Harry stabbed in the back by Prince William, who's behind the allegedly. Okay, we do not know. Things, more information is coming out, little bits and pieces. Okay, allegedly. All right, Prince Harry stabbed in the back by Prince William, who's behind the Sentebale drama. His aide, Sir Ian Rawlinson, now Sentebale trustee, and spare Harry said, quote, he, William, cared less about finding his purpose or passion than about winning his lifelong competition with me, Sussex Squad. There's a video I did on PYTE. I think that was like the beginning of when I started like doing more videos for Harry and Meghan, and I was starting to understand what's going on. And one of the videos that I did around that time was, it has been done before. I'll never forget where I was and what I saw and how I was able to explain in the video, pretty much interpret what I saw without being too, I guess, sound crazy. So all of this, I'm not surprised by it at all. Go watch that video. It has been done before. Almost everything that I said in that video back in 2020 is what's happening here. All right, let's see here. The image. It's very sad. It's very sad. And the thing is that many of these people, they have nothing better to do. For them to, I guess, to live, they have to put pain onto somebody else. Who is suffering out of all this unnecessary debacle? The children who are benefited from the organization. And there's Harry, his heart and soul was behind it. And he did what he needed to do to help sustain the charity. And it was doing well. Based on what I've seen, because this is the first time I'm hearing all this issue with Sentebale, almost every organization or every work that Harry is doing, is part of, it's running fine. But for some reason, now all of a sudden, since the thing about him with the US to go back to the UK did not work and all of that, so they have to, try to mess him up on another way. So those people who in position and power are not necessary, are not serious about their position. They just have to keep on. It seems like their work is to put pain onto people. I don't know. All right, let's read some of the comment. All right, for this, we're going to say allegedly, okay? More things will come out. It wasn't a lifelong competition. William was born first and will therefore be king. Okay, why doesn't he focus on that? Why doesn't he focus on that? Focus on his kingship instead of what Harry's doing. Okay, he has absolutely no need to compete with Harry. Okay, if you tell yourself that. Let's see here. Okay, so then why does he? I've never seen any evidence of that. Okay. Being king is not enough for William. He wants to be loved and have Harry's charisma. Yawn. Okay, let's leave that alone. Okay, that's William's standard. He can't achieve anything on his own, so he does this. Okay, Prince Harry is a fighter and a fixer. I honestly believe that he'll fight to save final solution to Sentebale and not allow it in the hands of his brother, where it will totally crumble irreparably. The other thing as well, I understand Harry and Meghan, they like to avoid issues. They love to avoid issues because sometimes it's unnecessary. But well, they do fight when they see there is a path to victory. But at some point, instead of Harry keep on ignoring, he has to face, the elephant in the room.
You heard from anyone in the palace thanking you for the, serious defense of them?
I've had some messages communicated to me on behalf of several members of the royal family.
Upper level
I'm very grateful that. Well, I'm not going to go into who it was, but what I would say is gratitude that somebody was standing up for them.
At some point, he has to face it so they could leave him alone. And how they're still trying to poke unnecessary pain into Africa, the continent itself. Europe refused to leave Africa alone, and then you have. It's so much. Let's read what's there and then move on. It'll always be seen as Harry's charity. Someone sneaking in the back door at this stage would be seen as nothing more than a sneak. It makes William's inability to build anything more apparent. Like I've said before, for him, in my humble opinion, based on things that I have seen, if the thing is not established already and it's very popular, he want nothing to do with it. Okay, if the thing is not popular and established, he want nothing to do with it. But once the thing is established, people love it, it's all, people cheering for it, he wants that. That also aligned with people as well. If people made it big, okay, the world class, let's say Tom Cruise and that football guy, yes, he wants to align himself with these people. Yes, we've seen some pictures of him with this, with some black people just to have the photo app when they call the racist thing. All of a sudden, he's taking pictures of black people. That's a different story. But once people is established, that's when he wants them in his circle. But anyway, it's best not to attack William or single this man out for abuse. Right, it appears well orchestrated, it seems to me at least. However, Prince is well above the noises. Okay, so he needs to focus on his thing.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it does more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So,
Because from what I've seen, allegedly, they push people in front to do the talking for him. Similar to what was this guy, that presenter who told Meghan to go back to America, to speak on his behalf. And then the royals just stay quiet. And Harry grew up in it's not like Harry is someone like Princess Diana who grew up outside of the institution. Okay? Harry was born in it. And he was an adult when he left. So he knows the ins and outs.
So again, one of the reasons why I wrote this book is every word in that book is mine. And I realized that especially...
What do you mean by that?
Because the amount of unnamed sources that have fed information to the British tabloids about me and my wife and my family.
You have a source,
true
and it's you.
And not true. I am the source of that book.
That she started a campaign in the British press to pave the way for a marriage, and you wrote, I even wanted Camilla to be happy. Maybe she'd be less dangerous if she was happy. Mm-hmm. How was she dangerous?
Because of the need for her to rehabilitate her image.
That made her dangerous?
That made her dangerous because of the connections that she was forging within the British press. And there was open willingness on both sides to trade of information. And with a family built on hierarchy, and with her on the way to being Queen Consort, there was going to be people or bodies left in the street because of that.
Criticisms that you've received is that, well, okay, fine, you want to move to California, you want to step back from the institutional role, why be so public? You say you tried to do this privately.
And every single time I've tried to do it privately, there have been briefings and leakings and planting of stories against me and my wife. You know, the family motto is never complain, never explain, but it's just a motto, and it doesn't really hold.
There's a lot of complaining and a lot of explaining.
Endless.
Private being done through leaks.
Through leaks. They will feed or have a conversation with the correspondent, and that correspondent will literally be spoon-fed information and write the story, and then the bottom of it, they will say that they've reached out to Buckingham Palace for comment. But the whole story is Buckingham Palace commenting. So when we're being told for the last 6 years, we can't put a statement out to protect you, but you do it for other members of the family, there becomes a point when silence is betrayed. The same fruit, if avocado is a fruit.
It is, yeah.
This is how it was covered for her. This is how it was covered for her. If you don't see the difference and understand why it's being reported that way, then I can't help you. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't.
So with all of the things that he has said in his book, Spare, how come nobody sue him? All right, so let's leave that alone. Next tweet. Focus on Sentebale. Oops, what happened? Okay, facts. Who does Sophie think she is? This message was more than a simple tribute to Phil's team. It felt like a subtle attempt to reframe the charity's public image. I mean, what was wrong with the charity from the beginning? What was wrong with it? I'm trying to understand what was the problem before when they brought her in to help guide with the vision of the charity. All of a sudden, there's a problem. Okay. This message was more than a simple tribute to Phil's teams. It felt like a subtle attempt to reframe the charity's public image and minimize the roles of the very people who built its reputation. Okay, it read like a soft power move that aligned more with Dr. Sophie Chandauka's stance than with the collaborative tone Sentebale was known for under its founders. While there's no, she could have create her own. While there's no denying that grassroots teams are vital in the nonprofit world, high-level fundraising is equally crucial. And let's be honest, Dr. Chandauka might bring a corporate experience, but from what I'm seeing, there's a trace of failed experiences from wherever she's worked with. Okay, but she can't host a polo match and raise millions in a single afternoon. Prince Harry can't. This is what I'm saying. And, well, not in this video, past video. Okay, the polo match. Just 1 or 2 days playing polo, you raise millions. But meanwhile, the mindset that she has, it's almost like that book, Poor Dad, Rich Dad. She has that poor mindset of selling little, little things in comparison to just one big game, you raise millions. I don't understand this. Okay, they could still do both. While Harry is doing the polo match, and then let's say, I don't know, the office or maybe online. Let's say online, for instance. The kids who's doing pottery or whatever they're teaching them, they could do things to sell on their website, to raise money still. But the polo match is where the big buck is. All right. Polo match and raise millions in a single afternoon, Prince Harry can. Undermining that contribution through vile social posts feels strategic, not accidental. For a charity that once led with empathy and global partnership, this tone shift was hard to ignore. Okay, so where was this got I've read a couple of things, but well, there are some articles I have not read because I've been so lazy. Let's see here. She retweeted that. Let's go into it. Okay, I guess it's from that. Okay, legal threat, board resignation, and a royal founder's exit. The truth about Sentebale fallout. Okay, so let's read this. Maybe that will give more insight. What the fuck? Okay, let's leave that alone. Maybe that's okay. I'm not even gonna share this. I don't know what just popped up on my screen. I hope it's not a bug thing. Alright, so there's all of this. I've shared this on other videos. You could pause and read. Alright. You could pause and read. So they're saying this guy, who's now all of a sudden part of the trustee, him works for Williams, whatever that royal patron thing, Tusk. Alright, that's an ad. Please repost a must read. Thanks, Feminego. So it was the princes who contacted the Charity Commission. OMG, why so many lies from the chairwoman? Okay, why did that thing pop up on my screen? So it seems like people read it. Yeah, it's still okay. As you can see, I don't know what this is. I cannot see the thing. I wish it was how do you call this? Archive. That's what I'm looking for. All right, let's see. It is 5. Okay, no, she did as well a complaint about the charity, citing abuse of power, bullying, misogyny, and harassment, and poor governance. Mind you, this is the same woman who was a member of that board from 2009 through 2015, left and then came back to chair in 2023, issue appearing like magic. Notice she resigned from other organization and left in debt. That's what I was saying. Her past experience is not in good standing. This woman is exposing herself globally as well. Best for her to step aside and disappear before the cans of worms are fully open. You could pause and read. The network of networks limited. Resign. Where is she here? Active. I guess that's her thing here. London. Resign. Appointed in 2021. Resign 2024. So she's Zimbabwean. Okay. She resigned here as well. 2016 to 2024. So she was holding these two together. Alright. At the same time. Okay, the company has loss of £387,000, of which £197,000 is due to the tax authorities. Whether it is also insolvent depends on who the £462,000 of other creditors are in Note 7. A senior accountant told me, quote, if it is the bank, they're in trouble. This is crazy. Okay, both sides have filed complaint with the commission. Is that why she changed the detail of her profile on Wikipedia 4 times since the news has broke? What is she hiding? But was it a CNN article or screenshot that I came across? It's in one of my videos. If I'm saying it, I probably already shared it with you. That they didn't see her file anything. Okay, she's covering up something or someone. Will be my guess. There's one comment here. She misappropriates $600,000. Okay, each time I'm saying dollars and pounds, so I don't know. She misappropriates $600,000 in the guise of hiring external consultant and bungling a long-time fundraising partner, ISPS Honda, a failure of a chairperson, then crying bullying when told she fell. Okay, there's a lot of uncover here. Thankful for the PI squaddies. I'm telling you, the following day, the first day that I come across the thing about Sentebale, I'm confused. Where did this thing come from? All the noise about Sentebale, I was literally confused. Then the squad, the following day, it was receipt after receipt. I'm like, what? Even the change in the Wikipedia. Squad came up with it. I'm like, what the hell? You don't mess with the squad. Okay, I didn't read that. It said they will stay on the founders and work with the charity commission. Okay, because that was KP told her to do. Okay, allegedly. Okay, I don't want to be, I'm reading what's on the screen, but that's not from me. Okay, because I do not know. Allegedly. We might have an idea, a suspicion and things like that, but we do not have concrete evidence. Next tweet. Imagine being groomed to be king your whole life only to rely on stealing your brother's success because you can't build anything yourself. That's Prince William. Allegedly. Oh my God. Like I've said in some videos, is that if he is behind this and new people who's looking, new squaddies, who's like all of a sudden finding out what Harry and Meghan were all about, and he continue and he's adding to his stupidity, he's just letting people know who he is instead of just stop. Just stop. He has, what is it, regarding the slumlord thing, he has so many things his focus could be on. He's not focusing on that. It seems like he get up every day. His thing is to think about Harry and Meghan, the king of nothing. Despite near endless resources, William has built nothing of worth, so he tries to steal from Harry instead. Weak, petty, pathetic. Alright, so there's that thing again. I'm not gonna show it. Okay, I'm stealing this one for the future. That's the life here. This guy is the epitome of being born to be a loser. Oh my God, the squad don't play. No matter how much he tries, he will always feel like a loser, a mediocre, and an inferior. Okay, this is a fact, 100%. That's an ad. Let's go to the next one. About Sentebale again. Well, pretty much everything is about Sentebale. Next one. Sophie Chandauka is utterly shameless. Now she's dragging Meghan's name into this and making it an all-out character assassination of Prince Harry, apparently at the advice of Ian Rawlinson. The thing is that these people in the UK, all the thing they were looking for to write BS, they didn't get it, especially after the failed attempt to bring Harry back to the UK. That didn't work, so they have to manufacture thing. These people, they get up, they have an office, they go to work every day instead of focusing on progress, okay? It's to disturb people who's trying to do good things. It's unbelievable. Same thing in the US. Okay, look where the US is now. A plant parachuted in from Prince William's trust. Shocking. There's an archive of it here. Financial Times. In her first interview since the dispute erupted, Chandauka defended her record as chair, insisted the organization will live on, and said Prince Harry's brand had hindered the charity. Who the hell does she think she is? This is something Harry and Prince Seeiso created, and they just brought her in. And then all of a sudden demonizing Harry's vision and Prince Seeiso. The number one risk for this organization was the toxicity of its lead patron brand, Chandauka told the Financial Times. Oh my God. She's going everywhere to pretty much, well, let's just say she's digging her own hole. Prince Harry and Prince Seeiso founded Sentebale, meaning forget-me-not, in 2006 to help young people affected by AIDS in the Southern Africa with healthcare and education. Okay, the newly formed board of Sentebale includes Ian Rawlinson, a financier who was previously chair of Prince William's conservation charity Tusk Trust and has been advising Chandauka. Oh my God. They're pushing her to, I mean, the squad were on board. The squad read in between the line. They're pushing her. This is what I mean with people. They could have as many education, high-level university education, but the freaking common sense, she doesn't see it. They're pushing her, using her dark skin to do the damage. My God. My God. If what I'm reading is true, oh my God. Prince William Conservation Charity Tusk Trust and has been advising Chandauka. Meanwhile, the charity was there. They had a vision. They had a function or objective, and they were doing fine. And then they're pushing her to do all of this. My God. He told the Financial Times there had been a concerted effort by certain trustees to destabilize and remove Sophie from her position. Well, if you're doing your thing wrong, you're not staying on point with the charity, you need to go. The origins of the dispute have been highly contested by both sides. Chandauka said she first felt tension between Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and herself in April 2024. Chandauka said she had refused what she described as a request by the royals team to defend his wife, Meghan. I doubt that. And the media are... What? To defend? Why will Harry said that when he's doing it himself? And the media, after negative coverage of her, I said, no, we're not setting a precedent by which we become an extension of the Sussex PR machine. She said, that's BS. That's BS. What in the name? Okay, she argues that the volatile public sentiment around Prince Harry since his move to the US and media fallout after the release of a Netflix documentary in 2022 and his book in 2023 had an impact on charity's ability to diversify its donor pool and make senior hires. I don't know. I don't know what to say here. Okay, hello Jan. Why are you in my mention? Shouldn't you be somewhere crying about one of Meghan's recipes? Okay. She used fighting. Okay, she used fighting. I guess she used fighting dirt, but the fact shows plus her history. She left her last venture in debt and wasted money in Sentebale. She is going down. Okay, I hope she has a deep pocket because Harry won't stand for being lied about. Okay, and then using his wife, of all things, his wife. Okay, I don't think Harry will tell anybody to go defend his wife. He's doing it himself. Now, you're putting his wife's name into her mouth. That's probably gonna get Harry pissed off. Okay, or she is done. This is gross. Okay, all slumlord doing. Look, I was just saying the other one has slumlord to deal with. Why doesn't he focus on that? Okay, I find it hard to believe that Harry and Meghan PR will ask her to release a statement based on a British tabloid lie started by Angela Levine, covered only in the UK. Sussex have never defended any of the made-up lies as much as we've wanted them to. Sophie is lying, disgrace to Africa. Okay, there's that fact. Okay, true or not, we are all loving the negative publicity surrounding them. Keep it coming. They deserve it all. What? It's because Harry and Meghan think, well, Meghan, the Netflix thing is doing well, so they're trying to smear their name. This is what they want. Everything that Harry and Meghan have been doing have been on a positive thing, and they want negative coverage. These people, they have no shame. Next one. Spent hours trying to find signs that Chandauka is speaking on behalf of the vulnerable kids in Lesotho, whom she thinks she had a special color license to represent in zilch. She's not even mentioned these kids in her PR tour, and not a single pic engaging with them in all these years. The squad doing the investigation. That Chandauka woman is a liar. I'm sure she's been paid off to tell all these allegations that won't even add up. Why now? Exactly, because she doesn't live in Lesotho or Botswana. The media journalists should ask her why and what her on-the-ground contacts are, since she pretends to be such a crusader to save Sentebale. She doesn't even live in Africa. Very true. Any pics of her being hands-on and on the ground working at the center? None whatsoever. Found one or two of her speaking awkwardly to a couple of women. By all accounts, nobody knows who she is, and she certainly doesn't represent the communities. Okay, or dumb as F. Chandauka has made a number of slanderous accusations against Harry personally and the charity he founded. I wonder if it's time for him to call on his powerful lawyers and sue the hell out of her. It might even reveal communication between her and the palace. These people don't know peace. Okay, has she ever been to Lesotho? Was she there last year when Harry bring all those possible investors over there? Was she there? Go either on PYTE or our Port of Pure service. I'm not sure. There were some images, pictures. I'm not sure if she was there. Okay, I have not seen any images of her working with the ground team here. There's an eye. And she never wears Sentebale or Lesotho colors. Even a Sentebale pin has never been spotted on her. All right, let's go to the next one. Whatever she's doing, baggage for God. Next one. What is abundantly clear is she never ever expected Harry and Seeiso to step down. She was manipulating them because the charity is on honor of their mothers. She is panicking, and that's why she's running to the press to attack only Harry and now shifting the blame onto Meghan. Ian Rawlinson is training her well on how to use the British media to play in her favor. But guess what? People already know the game. the BS that the British media does. But it's very sad she doesn't have the common sense to say, don't use me for your BS. They're using her. And this is the thing. I hope this is a perfect example for Harry and other country in Africa. They will use some of their people to help destroy them. Every time I think about this, this is sad. People started leaving when Sophie took over. The last chief executive and 2 trustees left over the last year. And now the entire board and founders too. She probably did it on purpose so she could bring her whole group. Now they could, paperwork that needs to frame whatever it is that they want to do so they could get she could get approval, in my humble opinion. And she has the audacity to lay the blame at Harry's feet and claim that, well, quote, well, he's just too toxic and that's why I can't fundraise. Okay, there's the B word. The last 5 years of Harry being out of the UK didn't stop people from donating money to Sentebale. The problem is you, Sophie. Okay, I must explain that I fell and broke my arm badly. Who's that? Okay, hospital 3 weeks, which made me very cranky. Okay, I don't know what this is about. Let's leave that alone. The most annoying part to me is mentioning only Harry and not Prince Seeioso. Okay, and they had him front and center at the event to bring in donors. Meanwhile, none of the organizations he works with have this problem. In fact, they're growing, including the fact that one major donor stayed with Invictus but left Sentebale. ISP Honda that one of the squad brought to the squad attention. She has lost access to Harry and I believe was trying to build her profile using Harry brand after failure from her previous, which she had resigned. Again, without Harry, she has lost free publicity together with the charity. It's a small charity which will become not newsworthy. Okay, please pardon my being offensive, but a gigantic FU to this Sophie woman. She deserves no less. I will forever stand with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Can someone ask her where is the £600,000? That's what I want to know too. Next one. I think somebody said it went to a PR thing and they point finger to somebody. Next one. Harry's brand only became toxic after this woman fundraising scheme fell through. The charity had a steady revenue until she took over. She was the one that destroyed the charity existing revenue schemes, losing millions in revenue. How on earth does she think she is going to fundraise now? Okay, let's see here. How many? Okay, let's read this and then I'll go to the retweet. Okay, I'm learning as I'm sharing with you and the discussion the squad are sharing. She used his name to put herself in room with high profile organization and people. Look at the event organized all 2024 where she made sure Harry was prominent. The fireside chat in Miami, the event in South Africa, the art exhibition in New York City. She didn't expect Harry to leave. You're also right. Okay. If Harry was truly toxic, they would have been able to raise so much money through Polo since 2020. If he was so toxic, the charity would not have been in stable financial standing until she took over. She's hitting on all the tabloid talking point. This is a smear campaign. Okay. This is a smear campaign. May she will be bankrolled by bullion. If it was that bad, why take the job? That's another thing too. If his brand was so toxic that he couldn't raise money, why didn't she resign? There's all of that. And from what I'm hearing, it seems like it was not, how do you call this? Volunteer kind of thing. That's the retweet. 1. Forced failure of a charity, yet she went as far as to sue and involve the courts to keep her position as a voluntary chair. 2. Toxic brand made it hard to fundraise when the charity was in good financial standing for 20 years before she took over. Lots of fund came from Harry. Pretty much, I think it's Harry who was doing all the fundraising. Toxic brand, but sales from Spare went to Sentebale. This is very unserious person. Well, he said he was gonna donate to it. Okay, those polo match that he does, and this is why I use polo match when was that newspaper in the UK that I don't know. I think some people were correcting me on the comment section that it's certain branch that closed down. But when they said it was having some issues, financial issues, and I was like, why doesn't William do the same thing that Harry does? Do a polo match to raise money for the charity. One polo match will raise million, but instead is just doing photo apps, standing at a corner to sell what? How much a newspaper sell? And how many people is gonna buy those newspapers in one day? When almost every information is online. Sheesh. This is a charity. Harry knows. So he's giving some of his money to the charity. I'm moving off now. Okay, that's retweet after retweet. Sophie Prince Harry tried to force a failure of a charity he founded. Same article. She blamed Harry for having a toxic brand that made it hard for the fundraising. Also, she paid allegedly £600,000 to, who is that? Lebec is a woman-owned and led firm that specializes in innovative finance and philanthropy. Okay, the maximum growth, Sentebale was in good financial standing before her. I don't know. Pause and read, okay? I'm not gonna read all of that. Pause and read. Oh, definitely. Pause and read. Pause and read. There's Harry and Prince Seeiso. It's very sad. This woman was dangerous, but glad everyone is seeing her, and for the now. Last year, financial reports have disappeared from the site or never published like other years. She's hiding that. Okay, this is something I never look. Very interesting. The 2024 report isn't due until next month. Should make interesting reading. Previous year were all files in April. So it's worth keeping an eye on the Charity Commission's website. Very interesting. This is a very good one. This is a very good one. All right. So let's see. Multiple long-term trustees resigned in response to her and her action. Now, the thing I'm a little bit afraid of is that at least the people who were there from a long time no longer there. So do they have access to computers of things with the charity now? Because now they bring in their own, or she bring in her own people. They have new trustees now. Will they put their heads together and to mess up the documents? This is something as well. Sophie, Harry, and Meghan. She knows what she is doing, and her action are a deflection from what? All right. She knows Prince Harry's name will get all the vulture of UK media. Such a bad move. I am sure Harry is consulting his lawyers. Okay, so Meghan centered her and the polo pics. The Rangers and British media said Meghan was bullying her and telling her what to do and creating toxicity. Their team asked her to issue a statement clarifying the situation, and she refuses because she wants the causes to be separate. Cool. Then why is she holding on so tight to a position for a forced failure charity? Okay, when they asked her to leave, she would have been happy. Okay, girl, funny to say, he had a toxic brand while also making him front and center of all the effort last year, from the fireside chat in Miami to then event in South Africa to the New York City art event. He was the draw, like in polo, and now she's made her draw walked away. If what she says is true, why is she clinging to the position? Why not set up her own charity and do her successful fundraising? Okay, $600,000 for a firm with less than 200 followers. All right, that's that. Let's go to the next one. All right, so there's some stuff, videos regarding GB News. I'm not gonna go in the comments, okay? Just the video I came across, I wanna share with you. 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Okay, this is bad move by the palace. Ellen Collins says, there's no doubt Prince Harry is devastated after failing to be told about his father's recent hospital visit. I saw it. It came under my timeline of all things. I think I blocked this. No, I'm not even follow it. After this, I'm gonna block it. Let's listen to this.
Sources have claimed that Prince Harry was left in the dark by Buckingham Palace as the Duke of Sussex was not informed on King Charles's recent hospital visits due to the side effects of his cancer treatment. Now, we're joined by TV presenter and journalist Ellen Coughlin to talk about this. Ellen, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know whether this has been verified, but it appears that Harry found out from watching television that his father had been into hospital for a very short amount of time. But nevertheless, it must have been concerning for him to find this out in that way.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a bad move by the palace. I know they came out and said that they didn't want to alarm Harry in any way by telling him, but I'm pretty sure he was more alarmed by finding out in the media along with everybody else. I think a good heads up to him probably would have put him at ease a bit more, but finding out in the media along with the rest of the public would have been even more alarming for him, so I'd imagine he's devastated.
I can imagine Buckingham Palace might have thought, though, that this was not significant. It was a relatively routine. Maybe they didn't even think that this situation would have happened, that he would have found out this way. But perhaps they've learnt the lesson for next time.
You would hope so, especially because they announced it to the media. If they didn't say anything to the media and we found out ourselves, then you would say, okay, fair enough, maybe they didn't expect this to get out, and then they would approach Harry about it. But because they actually gave a statement to the media about this without giving a statement or without telling Harry beforehand, it just, it screams of disrespect, actually. All of King Charles's children should have been notified before the media.
It does really speak to how isolated Harry has become, though, doesn't it? And you know, on a human level, I feel very sorry for him. He's separated from his family. His children don't know their grandparents, their aunts, their uncles, their cousins. He's in a different country, not connected to his family anymore. I mean, the future does not look that rosy for him as a human being.
Yeah, I do have a lot of empathy for him there. He does have his own life set up now in California, but as we all know, like, family is so important. And Harry has said on numerous occasions, like recently, that he still loves his family and he still wants to build a connection with them. So hopefully down the line, when old wounds have healed slightly, that they can rebuild a relationship. Even if it's not as strong as it used to be, but some sort of relationship, even just for King Charles's grandkids, Lilibet and Harry's son, I forget his name.
And Archie, I think.
Archie, yeah, that's the one. Even just for the grandkids, just to have, you know, a relationship with their grandfather. So hopefully old wounds can mend.
Absolutely, but Harry's not without controversy in the United States either, is it? There's this move to try and open up his immigration documents following his publication of the book Spare, where he talked about drug use. Some people are concerned that perhaps he didn't tell the truth on his immigration forms. Where is that case up to? Do you think that's going anywhere?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I haven't looked too much into that case, but I do feel like if there was something to come of that, it would have happened by now. I'm pretty sure Trump said something in the media before that he's not going to look into Harry's case. This was just kind of media speculation. And I'm sure Harry would have looked into it. He has lawyers looking over his books before they were released. So I do feel like his lawyers would have looked over, and if there was any problems with his visa, it wouldn't have been put in the book.
Let's leave that alone. I was thinking, how long was this? But then when he said Trump said he's not going to look into this, I was like, okay, so that probably was recent. I'm looking at this. I feel like putting the screenshot of what I have, that it was the brother who kicked him out. Let me just black this.
Now, sources
black. Phew, I don't know how it came. I thought it was a squaddy who retweeted it. Oh, what is that? This is new. That's not what I was going to add. Really good piece by Ofua Hirsch about the term misogynoi. Okay, so that's something different. There's so many elements to consider to this story. Let me leave that alone. Let's focus on my list. Let's like it anyway. I want to finish. I have 3 more. Okay, so this is GB News again. How did I... Okay, because I put the link. Alright, chair of Prince Harry's charity blamed Meghan Markle for starting tension with the Duke of Sussex. This is from GBNews.com. I'm not going to share the link. I'm just going to focus on the article. I mean, on the responses, the tweets. I then realized Meghan made Sophie blow $500,000 on external consultant that then end up donating any money. Laughing my ass off, Sophie really is digging herself deeper and deeper into a pit. The audacity to blame the founder's wife for her messed up. LOL. There's 4 comments under there. Okay, this B is doing this at someone's order. Like the thing that I read, the person who used to work Williams is guiding her. Well, she's digging her own, the common sense of things. I don't know. Okay, that's not how board governance work. She can authorize disbursement of funds without the approval of the board. That's what I'm saying. How did that 600, well, now he's saying 500, that money, that huge chunk, who approved beside her? Who else approved it for it to be out of the coffer of the organization? I don't need to read that. They just wanted something to smear her name and they drag her into that. Okay, good article. Meghan Markle refusal. Okay, from Apple. Sentebale chair claim Prince Harry fallout was due to critical Meghan Markle. There's one comment under it here. Okay, it was interesting. The follow-up timeline article is signpost was very informative. There's Hello Magazine. Maybe on another video I'll read, but I want to finish with this. What happened? Go back. All right, not surprised. She does that with everyone, whether it be family, friend. Oh, God. Yeah, this is what they want. They want to smear her name. Oh, I forgot. I'm here. And GB News. No. Okay, I did black. You're going to get those same type of comments. So there's no reason to even bother with these people. They want something to say negative. These people cannot live without saying anything negative. All right, Prince William organizing a hostile takeover of a charity Prince Harry founded over 20 years ago is extraordinary level of evil. All right, allegedly. So Ian Rawlinson, who works for Prince William Trust, was appointed as a new trustee for Sentebale on Tuesday. Okay, I did see this earlier, March 25th. So it's this year. This month, actually. 5 days ago, we are the 30th. There's all these people here. They bring all of these people the same day. I hope they have... Oh, there's the guy's information. All right. The trustee and board members themselves have to update this information through an online portal. Trustee are the people responsible for controlling the work, management, and administration of the charity on behalf of its beneficiaries. Generally, trustees are treasurer, chair, board members, etc. The trustees are responsible for keeping this list up to date and can do this by updating their detail as they happen through the online service. Okay, guys, I'm not even kidding. When I say send me more info if you have any, I'm struggling to believe my own eyes. Like this level of petty and evil. I should be used to it all these years, but I'm still shocked. Okay, okay, time add that nowhere did I say Williams involved in this mess, but it is incredible messy of Dr. Hammerhead to someone affiliated with William on the board of trustee. Okay, but he is the same. The one is Ian, the other is that the L? Ian. Okay, I'm not saying you're all wrong. Just want to get the bottom of this. I wanted clarity on this though. Okay, there's that. Let's leave that alone. Pause and read. Sometimes too much information is not good. Next one. Okay, so this is the squad, you know, putting a humor out of this nonsense that's going on with Sentebale. If I took $600,000 from my organization and all they said was to resign, no police involvement or charges will be filed, me, it's like I'll be walking away. There's a music, walking away. Oh, there's me laughing here. I know, right? Some people don't know peace. Whatever she's looking for, she's going to get it. I don't think it will be what she wants. Baggage for God. Like, girl, they were letting you go quietly and you could have still bragged about working with the most famous man in the world. I don't know who's gonna want to work with her now. Phew. Yeah, and if this goes to court, that thing, you know, people's gonna be talking. Right, the board of trustee will not have to tell me twice, I'm out. The squad, people are laughing. I mean, how do you not recognize that you won? Instead, you make demands from one of the most popular and powerful figures in the world, not my ass. Bye. 100%. That's what I like about the squad. They like to bring the humor of things. So she embezzled allegedly and then managed to turn the table on those who took a chance on her with the help of Kensington Palace. Well, another who for failure ahead for her and KP. The thing is that now that she dragged Meghan's name into this mess, and we all know how Harry is very protective of his wife. And to drag, I think this will be the thing that really pisses Harry off. They were willing to lose that £600,000, but it seems like, I have not come across the video, but from what I've heard and other tweets that I've read, so let me say allegedly, that she probably bring in and mention Meghan's into that mess. And then the squad, there's other videos. I'm editing this video a day later after I recorded it, and I've recorded other things after that where the squad bring receipts of videos during the polo match where Meghan was telling her to move in the center, you know, give her space while she was trying to cozy up next to Harry. She was trying to get a picture with Harry while his wife was there. I mean, come on. Alright, so for dragging his wife into that probably gonna piss Harry off. So if you're having issues with Harry, I think he's willing to take the blow if you direct it at him only. But once you bring his kids, his wife, he's not messing around. So I won't be surprised if there's, you know, things that, you know, how do they say it? Let bygone be bygone. Okay, he was willing to lose that £600,000 of the charity, and then instead of resign, but you go on and on and on, and then you bring his wife's name. There might be more to that, I think. I don't want to say I will bet on that, but I will almost certain he will, that part alone for bringing his wife into that mess will probably make Harry bring this to court. Okay, now it's no longer about the charity anymore, because now you're dragging his wife into it. So it seems like you're attacking him personally. So, I mean, this is what I'm saying with terms of common sense. They tell you, like the squad was saying here in this specific tweet, you know, just resign and they're not going to call the police. There's no investigation, but you drag on, but you didn't see the whole picture of things. But okay. Get what you're looking for, like in my response in this particular tweet. Is not what she's gonna look for. Whatever baggage God has for her, she won't be able to handle it. All right. Okay, this was international follow the money, taking £600,000 from a charity to bankrupt it, loses major donor and can find a replacement, and demanding a salary of £300,000 on a volunteer position. I understand you get a salary, but oh girl got something else going on. Now charges must be filed. I hope the Prince of Peace sees this. Okay, actually, that's a win. I will be back in a minute, but Miss Soph wants to keep on taking from offense. There's the laugh here. This is my last one. Okay, this one has nothing to do with Harry and Meghan or Sentebale. There's that here. That's 100% fact. So this person retweeted that. Why are black men are so beautiful? And this one responded, because we come from you. I thought that was nice. Okay, now that response was so sweet, sexy and manly at the same time. Yep. Okay, very simple. Yep. All right, so anyway, I thought that was something to share. So let's do a prayer. What can we do a prayer about? Prayer, light shines on Sentebale. Okay, prayer for light shines on Sentebale. Oops. Let's look for an image. I want something small. Okay, let's see this one. God of love, You sent your Son, Jesus, to shine bright like the sun, lighting the way for all who walk in darkness. Let your love shine like a light to all people, and may the light of your love always shine in your hearts. Let your love transform us and inspire us to love more deeply. All right, so that is it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. All right, so that is it. Let me see if this one is finished. Nope, it's still rendering. All right, so that is it. Thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.